What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Smackdown review as we are days away from the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. A lot of things going down tonight on Smackdown. In Seattle, Washington, as Daniel Bryan came out. It is his hometown. Well, he's from everything but Seattle, Washington. He was glad to be back, and the last time he was here, he had to make the most difficult announcement of his life, of his retirement. And last year wasn't easy, but he's grateful. He's grateful to be the general manager of SmackDown, and he gets to go to Seattle to the fans to give them the best show as possible. And soon he said he's going to be a dad soon. So Daniel Bryan was back in his hometown until the Miz came out saying, like, 1 year ago you had to retire. You can't wrestle anymore, so you might as well be a stay-at-home dad. And as he said, you can't wrestle anymore. I don't even know why you're even in the WWE ring. Bryan pretty much looked at it and says, that not being able to wrestle never stopped the Miz from getting in the ring also, which the fans got a yes chance. Getting yes chance. Miz pretty much said Daniel Bryan didn't respect them, and fans pretty much kept chanting Daniel Bryan multiple times. The Miz says he can't wrestle anymore, but he can now. As they pretty much chanted, Miz told the fans, I can get louder and everything. As Bryan laughed at him, and as the fans chant yes, and Bryan said, hey guys, I think that's a challenge. Until Baron Corbin came out, some think he killed the crowd tonight, and told Miz when's he gonna learn to shut up, because he talked too much on the commentary table last week, and he's talking too much again. And Miz pretty much said that Corbin, why don't you just keep your head in the game at the Elimination Chamber, may the best man win. As Corbin says he was going to take out the Miz and everything, and he was going to become the new WWE Champion. Miz turned to Bryan, let him talk to me that way? And he says, oh no, Baron, please don't punch Miz in the face, pretty much, that would be terrible. And he pretty much mocked him. Dean Ambrose came out then. Ambrose pretty much says, he doesn't know why Miz is dressed like this, and that Corbin stole motorcycle noises from his entrance theme song. But Ambrose says he's focused on the Elimination Chamber, and he will be the WWE Champion again. AJ Styles then came out then, says he has done playing Tickle Butt, which is kind of weird to say that. He says, I have beaten all of you, and people chanted for AJ Styles, and as he pretty much got in the ring, he says he will be the WWE Champion again. And, people come to SmackDown just to see me. But Bryan pretty much cut him off and says, I need to relax. And you know what? It's going to be a fatal four-way right now. So it's AJ Styles versus The Miz versus Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin in a fatal four-way. And, it was good to see Bryan back in his hometown. He got a huge ovation and everything. It's still sad to see the guy retire, even though I get Daniel Bryan one thing. I haven't spoke about this in a minute. That guy's still getting those tests out there, from different doctors. Like, some people wonder why the WWE won't medically clear him, but all these other doctors have. And because as I've seen before with him kind of shooting on Tyson Smack and that other one with SmackDown when he kind of got up, like, I almost felt like they were going to do Miz versus Bryan. Like, Bryan really wants to come back here. Some people think he'll wait out his contract and he'll go back to the Indies to wrestle, but yeah, I don't know. I can't determine that, and it's best what he has to do, and that's his neck. But in a way, we've read interviews before. He's not at peace with this whole retirement thing. And let me say, the Fatal 4-Way match with Miz doing those kicks on AJ and Dean Ambrose, which looked horrible, by the way, and they looked very weak that he barely kicked them. I don't know why they have to sell that, but it looked weak. And it was a good fatal four-way. Baron Corbin got the pin on AJ Styles after AJ Styles hit the forearm on Miz. Corbin at the end of the day, which I thought was botched for a second, but he hit it on there and won. And some people think that AJ once again is taking too many losses. It's not like the James Ellsworth thing and stuff, but he just beat AJ Styles just because. I'm surprised they even got. I'm surprised AJ Styles even pinned in this match. You think Miz or Corbin would have been pinned, or even Ambrose, but hey, AJ Styles got pinned in this match, which is kind of weird. Luke Harper was standing around light bulbs. How about Orton took his family away from him, and he's a snake in the grass. He knows how to fix it. In an Elimination Chamber, he's going to hurt him. So pretty much now is Luke Harper versus Randy Orton in Elimination Chamber. That's another match for you. For some reason, they did a very close up on Tom Phillips. I don't know why they don't let Ronaldo talk that much on SmackDown anymore. A lot of Phillips tonight, by the way. A very close up for no reason. Just went right to his face to interview Nikki and Natalya, and I don't know, them arguing. And I was reading on Twitter, said this looked like a total Divas thing or a Divas segment from back then with them arguing through the camera. And they were just talking about on location about this feud. And once again, we went back to the Bret Hart, you stole my Uncle Bret from me, which we don't care. And she said, maybe John Cena should have moved on. If I wasn't married, John Cena would have been with me, who's a better woman and stuff. And I just not into this whole thing. I've said it before about this feud. Like, it's going over like, well, where's my t-shirt? Well, where's my face on the door? Where's this? It looked like they could have got it going when they were doing a few brawls here and there, and maybe a couple insults, but I was just never interested in this whole feud. And I've said it before, and I can have people vouch for me, say this, that when was Nikki Bella ever a sympathetic face? I just don't see it. I mean, people say she was in the prime of her career when she was the Divas champion. What, the political title reign? And I said, what prime? Like, I just don't see it. And I wonder who was the face and who was the heel here. Was it Natalya who's the face, or was it Nikki Bella who's the heel, or was it switched around? And yeah, they argued with each other, but it just kind of got to a point where I just didn't care. And it just doesn't really connect, and it's like whatever they do this Sunday on Elimination Chamber, it's just because. Apollo Crews went against Dolph Ziggler. Once again, Dolph Ziggler still a face out here, face cheers and same music, same everything, which he came out and was going to do a super kick on Crews, and Crews actually got a win. This match was like a minute. Then after Ziggler pretty much started beating up Crews and hit a chair on him as the fans chanted, one more time, one more time. Then Kalisto tried to save him and he hit him with a chair and went, one more time, one more time, one more time. I don't get where this feud is going. I don't see where Ziggler, and then again, the fans don't even treat Ziggler as a heel. They keep cheering him every week. They cheer him every week. And they like it when then again, but who's really caring about, like literally, who really cares about, Crews and Kalisto? Because and stuff, and I'll get to my little more thoughts on this real quick, but Ziggler pretty much walking in the back, and Brian told him, no, this is another match this Sunday. It'll be Ziggler versus Crews and Kalisto in a handicap match. And then again, why a handicap match? Hasn't Ziggler kicked the shit out of pretty much both these guys for the past 2 or 3 weeks now? What was it before? Ziggler beat Kalisto with a super kick in like seconds. Then he beat him again. And then Crews has to come out and save him. Now it's just switched around. Crews does the match, and now Kalisto comes out to save him. And then he beat them both up with a chair the first time, and fans were cheering, yes, 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 and one more time, and they did it tonight. So why are we in a handicap match? Who really believes that they're going to beat Ziggler? Ziggler's kicked the living bejesus out of them over 3 to 4 weeks in a row now. And he's still the same Ziggler. Like, I don't see nobody much heel about him. And the fans just love what he's doing. So, like, ever since they turned him heel, okay, yes, he kicked Lawler in the chest. But it looked like it didn't even do that much. And then when he came out on the Rumble, I don't know if he was a face or he was auditioning for the Young Bucks or something to do a flurry of super kicks. He didn't do that much heel. Same entrance, same Ziggler, same everything. He just beating up guys nobody cares about, and people cheer for it. Moving on. Contract signing for Elimination Chamber. Well, both women's matches. Alexa Bliss versus Naomi and Mickie James versus Becky Lynch. I still wish Mickie James gets some type of reaction when she comes out. I still feel like people don't know her. But Mickie James says she's waited 7 years to get back to WWE. 7 years of rage. She created this division. She created Lynch. That without her, there would be none of her. Like, I'm a 6-time women's champion. And it would be destruction of Lynch. I went against Trish Stratus at WrestleMania 22. Yeah, 22 and stuff to beat her for the women's championship. As Becky Lynch says, she no one's trying to erase her accomplishment. She respected her, but once you start teaming up with a little troll right there, you return a chip on your shoulders. and she's gonna slap her back to the past now. As Alexa Bliss, like I said before, told her that she's beaten Trish Stratus and talked about Lynch's toxic cheap orange hair dye, and that, you know, the title on her shoulder, that means she is the division now. And she's going to beat you, and she was going to beat you on Sunday. And then she forgot about Naomi then. So, oh yeah, I'll beat you too on Sunday. As Naomi pretty much told Bliss, like, you forget that I pinned you twice, and you think you can underestimate me. But we are 2 months away from WrestleMania in her hometown of Orlando, Florida. And pretty much says, she's going to win the championship. And then again, do I see her winning the championship Sunday? I don't think so. I feel like they'll probably build this up all the way into WrestleMania. But pretty much then they all brawled with each other then, as Naomi kicked Alexa Bliss, and Naomi did a dive out the ring, and they pretty much, the faces stood tall after that. So, then again, Naomi could go and, she could win the title and go into WrestleMania as champion, but then again, we know WWE has a very bad reputation of, every time you go in your hometown, you will lose for some odd reason. I don't know why. I think she should win it at WrestleMania, that'd be better, but, yeah. If she wins Sunday, maybe, but I think it's better she win at WrestleMania, in my opinion. 12-man tag. Oh, yes, 12-man tag. Even though it's a tag team turmoil on Sunday, we had American Alpha, Breezango, and Rhino and Slayer versus Usos, Vaudevillains, and Ascension. Which the only person that was really over was Rhino. Was Rhino. As people chanted, we want Rhino in ECW. And the surprising thing is that American Alpha did the pretty much Jason Jordan launched Gable over the ring and everything. Rhino did hit a spear on Victor, but then Connor came in with a knee, or did he gore? No, he gored Connor and Victor hit him with a knee, and then the Ascension won. The Ascension won. When was the last time the Ascension even won a match? Ever since they got here on the main roster. Somebody answer that question. When the fuck the last time did they win a match? Because I'm even surprised they even actually had a win. Just a win. And American Alpha, I know they're over too, but then again, it looks like none of these tag teams are really over or don't care about. You know, and I like the Usos, even though they're like some niggas from up the street, some street cats, but I'd rather see them versus American Alpha for the championships. This is just a way to get everybody on the show. I don't even know if this is part of the pre-show now. It was actually on the show at Elimination Chamber, but I am actually surprised the Ascension got a win, but it's almost like, who cares? They haven't won a match in so freaking long. Who really believes they're going to win this Sunday? I don't see it. I just don't see it. So the tag team division on SmackDown, even Raw is just very weak, but SmackDown is very weak. American Alpha says we ain't got no competition. Where is the competition? Where? Just where? Literally where? Ooh, but I don't know. We'll see this Sunday, but tag match is kind of hard to care about. John Cena came out as he went against Randy Orton, which still, this does not make sense to me in a way. We're doing the main event of WrestleMania, given away for free on SmackDown. Where does any of this make sense? But the match wasn't bad, and yes, Cena hit a FU and Orton hit a RKO, but when the referee got knocked out of the ring, since the ref was down, Cena hit the STFU, Orton tapped out, and the referee was down. Bray Wyatt came in, him and Orton started beating up Cena, and Wyatt was about to hit Sister Abigail RKO, but Cena pretty much ducked out and hit a clothesline. Wyatt didn't hit Cena with Sister Abigail, but then Luke Harper came out and they did a stare down for a minute and laughed, as Wyatt pretty much told Harper to leave, but Harper looked like he was going to leave, and then he clotheslined Wyatt. Orton was going to go for RKO, but Harper pushed him, and Cena hit an FU for the win. which just pretty much builds into an Elimination Chamber. But in a way, you just made your main event of WrestleMania look bad. Like, number one, you made the guy that won the Royal Rumble, who's supposed to main event of WrestleMania, just look bad if he tapped out to Cena and then he got pinned by him. Why give away this match for free? I would have been okay if you ended it out in a DQ or something, but why do this for free? Why did they need to do this match for? I really don't get why. Like, couldn't have been a fuck finish or this? Yeah, it was DQ. Well, not DQ, but even though the referee didn't, what's even odd, I'm surprised the referee didn't hit a DQ there. Like, my God, the referee was gone out the ring for so long, he magically woke up as soon as Cena got the pin. But he was now been in there almost 2 to 3 minutes when everybody was in there getting their stuff in, knocking everybody to the ground. So it's very odd that happened, and I guess Orton will get his payback this Sunday on Elimination Chamber against Luke Harper. He'll get his payback on him. And, like I said about the Elimination Chamber, I don't see this plan where everyone's saying that Bray Wyatt's going to win a championship and then Orton's going to face in WrestleMania. Why didn't Bray Wyatt just win the Royal Rumble then and could have main event at WrestleMania if they're going that far? Like I just say, I don't see John Cena as a transitional champion. I don't see him dropping the title at Elimination Chamber. I'd be surprised with, like, really, if Cena just, okay, you just give the title that quick. Just, it seems odd. And it's him and Orton supposed to main event at WrestleMania. It'd be very odd if, Harper just, not Harper, Wyatt would just win. And then again, I still think Randy Orton needs a big win still in a way. Like, it'd be kind of odd for him to lose to Wyatt at WrestleMania. I guess, put him over and stuff, but it's just a very strange of how this has been planned. I was talking about this last week also. But it's just very strange of how they're trying to do this, and even stranger tonight by giving away the main event of WrestleMania for free on TV, and it was just, everything was all over the place, and he just beat the guy that's winning the Royal Rumble, and it's almost like, why do I need to face this guy? I already beat him tonight, so why do I need to face him in the main event of WrestleMania? Think about that for a second, folks. So, yeah, but SmackDown was whatever. Daniel Bryan was in his hometown was good. I didn't mind the Fatal 4-Way that much. I was surprised AJ got pinned. The Nikki and Natalia thing, I don't know. I just don't give a shit, really. Very confused on the main event. Ziggler, I don't know where they're going with this guy, with Ziggler, so yeah. Was it Ziggler? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with him. The contract signing was okay. I'll give it that. 12-man tag is, whatever. Just got a stretch time on this show. So it's not a lot to say about SmackDown. And make sure you check out my Monday Night Raw review also. And check that out. I said a lot. I don't know if I missed anything on the Raw review. The only thing I may have missed was talking about that whole, everybody's talking about Poet Emmalina thing next week. But I don't know. I don't give a shit about that. I gave up on that 2-3 months ago, and like I said, if she does something like Brodus Clay, maybe Evil Emma comes out and some troll, maybe it'll work, but it's too late, it waited too long, fuck it, so yeah, but that's my SmackDown review. I'll see you guys later, peace.